we've had Bielema, Shaw, and Morrigal. Right now, let's try it again and go back out to Coppell, Texas, and Solomon Thomas about to make his decision. Solomon, good morning. Best of luck to you. Where are you going to play your college football?
Hello, sir. Thank you for having me on the show. And next year, I'll be playing college football, and I'll be graduating from Stanford University.
Who says the smart guys don't have a real sense of humor, too? All right, Solomon, I want to know, whose idea was it to pull out the tree?
To pull out the tree, it was my best friend Bill Weber's idea. We were in the car on the way home after I silently committed, and he said, that's a great idea because it's Screw the Tree.
So just you and he knew about this? How difficult is it to keep a tree a secret?
Of course I had to tell my parents and my coaches, but to keep the tree secret, it was pretty hard because we had to get it planned out, talk to my mom's friends and all that.
Stanford, as an educational institution, and over the last several years as a football program, speaks for itself. But it's a draw. It's a long way from home. What is it that drew you ultimately to Stanford?
What drew me to Stanford just was the players and people there. They all have the same mindset, all trying to get better as people, not just players. And it's like a high school team. They all just love each other. They don't do it for themselves. They do it for the team. And I love the coaches out there, class act. It's amazing out there.
How would you describe the relationship that you've developed with David Shaw during this recruiting process?
With Coach Shaw, I developed an amazing relationship, more of like just friends instead of just a player-coach relationship. He's a real players coach, and he's just a coach who's going to be there for his players and make sure they're better people. Of course he's going to get on to you, and of course he's crazy in ways, and we're all crazy, but
You've got a pretty broad wealth of experience in your life, spent some time in Australia. What do you think it is about your background that made Stanford particularly appealing to you?
Just the diversity there, and just so many different people and different players on the team, like players from Honolulu, players from New York, just everywhere, and just it was awesome.
Solomon, congratulations. Never go wrong choosing a place like Stanford. Congratulations on that. We wish you the best of luck on the field as well.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for having me on the show.
All right, Solomon Thomas, our first live commitment. Those are the glasses without the little tape in the Nerd Nation. You see the particulars on him, the stats. You talked about him right now being a little bit better of a run defender. How do you see him fitting into the style of defense that Stanford has played?
Oh, exceptionally well. I think he brings the demeanor. He brings that 93 octane of a motor that you want to have on defense. And really, if you examine Stanford and you look at how it began with Jim Harbaugh, how it's continued with David Shaw, what have they done to build this roster? They've built it from the inside out. And when you talk Stanford, what do you talk? You talk the offensive line. You talk that defensive front seven. That's how they've created their identity. So for them to go out and get a great player in the offensive line in this class, and then to go and flip and do it on the defensive line, I think it gives you an idea that Stanford's momentum isn't slowing down. There's still such a positive perception of what they've done in a short period of time there, and it's resonating. And as we all know, and Coach, you know this, Stanford's able to cast a wide recruiting net. And you made a comment to me earlier in the season about Stanford recruiting that the big key in the turnaround isn't just getting these guys that want to be a lawyer, a heart surgeon, or an architect, but guys that think football is important.
And they're putting people into the NFL in this style of football, the physical brand of football, at both line of scrimmage. They have to have these kind of kids commit to the program, come in who love to play football, who are aware of the academic and the opportunities, but really love football and think about that as a potential career.
Well, I think when Jim Harbaugh left, we talked about they're not going to be the same. And then when Andrew Luck left, they're not going to be the same. Now, the defensive side of the football, they're losing a lot in that defensive front seven. They've got to be able to replace that. Trent Murphy gone, Scope gone, a lot of these guys that have been impact players over the last several years. they've got to find ways to continue to dominate that, because in the Pac-12, they're one of the few teams, offensive and defensive lines, exactly, that they dominate. They have to continue to be able to do that to be successful.
About a quarter past our first hour coverage here on ESPNU National Signing Day. The first